In my dream, okay, I was fornicating, having an affair, like a whole thriving affair, where with this guy that is my cousin's husband. In the dream, I did not comprehend him as her husband, and it was just a boyfriend, all right, which tells me that it wasn't me that was being represented in that dream, and it was us back then, as in as young as back then, before everybody got born again. In my dream, I was not Karabo that I know today. I was definitely not me, because I did not have conviction about sexual sin. I did not feel uncomfortable about fornication. I did not feel uncomfortable about betraying my cousin. Like I was in something that I just have never been. So whoever I was in my dream was somebody else, and God was showing me the strategy that is currently trying to slap, not trying to slap me silly, but what's slapping everybody silly, right? This demonic attack, which is as a result of witchcraft from the occult, nonetheless told a different story that I was able to gauge thoroughly. This cousin was wearing the guy, the boyfriend, right, was wearing red shorts, and in my dream, red always represents witchcraft. Like it always represents witchcraft, like in the worst way, okay? So it told me that this guy is involved in witchcraft. That dream exposed to me that not my suspicions, he's been exposed long ago, long even before they got married. God showed me, your cousin is about to marry Satan, and all of my family members. That's why the way that you're in such a rush, just walking down the aisle real fast. You're not asking God, you're not consulting to find out is he right. You don't even want to pray. You just, anybody I do just to be La Sauce and Amanda Black and Jay, you are running. And then next thing, when the ramifications slap you, you're wreaking havoc, okay, in everybody's life. Yeah, this guy was a combination of some celebrity in this country that I have dreamt about before trying to marry me. But in I already explained that dream some time ago. I've got so many dreams that I explain. Anyway, this dude, seeing him for a second time has made me wonder if he hasn't actually happened upon my content, because dreaming about him once, maybe that was just God showing me an image of a celebrity that I think is hot, because I do think he's a handsome guy, and I dreamt about him once, leaving his girlfriend for me. This guy's one of those like alpha males, kind of chunky. Every woman in the country is trying to throw himself at his feet, but he's got like a regular Jane girlfriend that's not in the entertainment industry, and I think that's how he likes it. He wants his women out of it. Like he's dating a woman that's just a regular chick, and I believe it is precisely because he does not celebrity girlfriends. He just wants a normal life. He wants to have a segment of a life that is not like entertainment industry. So he does not date celebrities. He dates, like I said, his girlfriend is just a regular Jane. And the first time I dreamt about him, I imagined that was just God using an archetype, because he's a celebrity that I think is really cute. Type establishment thing. So he was used because there was a strategy from the occult to marry me off to a handsome sangoma, a good looking sangoma, and one of the strategies was also to perhaps maybe see if they can't marry me off to a celebrity. And just because he's a celebrity, it's like, get celebrity, I'm just gonna run there. And I was explaining how it is that our minds don't work like that as Christian women. Well, I dreamt about that guy then, and I brushed it off as an archetype. But upon dreaming about this guy, it's not the second time, it's the third. It's the third time that I dream about this guy. The third. And guys, there's no coincidence like that in my dreams. I don't just repeatedly dream about people unless they've actually cast spells, or unless I think about them unless they cast spells. I've had random celebrities, sometimes very big ones. I've dreamt about Beyonce, but she doesn't frequent my dreams. Like in 1 month, I'd like 4 or 5 or 6 times. Like no. I dreamt about Beyonce because Beyonce. Who doesn't dream about Beyonce and what evil stuff is going on there in Hollywood and what Beyonce tends to represent? Everybody dreams about a lot of people dream about Beyonce, but there are certain people that when you dream about them like a whole bunch, you need to stop just thinking that it's, especially when you don't even think about them all the time. Like, I'm always talking about Beyonce, so I can understand why I would dream about Beyonce. But when you don't even think about them or talk about them that much and they're just popping up in your dream, that's like, it's likely them. It is likely them. So I'm starting to wonder if this guy's not actually looking at me, in which case I'm not really flattered, because apparently he's involved in the darkness, so I'm quite disappointed, because he is so handsome and looks like such a sweet guy that I would never imagine him as one who is involved in all of this stuff. Like, yes, guys, is anybody not involved in witchcraft anymore? Anyway, look, I'm speculating right now. I'm not saying that it is the real deal at all, but I suspect that this guy has somehow happened upon my very lackluster, weak YouTube channel. Like, I don't know, crushed on me, or whatever, since he is the kind of guy to crush on, or rather to prefer women that are not in the limelight, because he wants a regular, normal life. Come on, this light needs to work with me now. So this is the third time in about 3 weeks. Yeah, so basically one a week. I get one dream about this guy a week, and it's getting it's too much. It's much too much. This guy was a combination. The celebrity guy was a combination of who is this? This ex-boyfriend, not ex, it's current husband of my cousin, and the celebrity guy. A combination of that cousin and the celeb guy they kept shape-shifting between each other. And this guy, the celebrity guy, is I told you, a typical alpha male, right? A typical alpha male, very handsome. No woman that is not filled by the Holy Spirit of God would not want to throw themselves at him, type thing. I was having an affair. In my dream, I was my cousin's cousin, but not with the kind of mindset that I've ever had in my life before. I was just some immoral, loose girl. I was my cousin's cousin, and I understood that this guy was my cousin's. Somehow he kept shape-shifting, between my cousin, not my cousin, but my cousin's present husband and the celebrity guy. The thing that drove me up the wall in the dream was the version that was the celebrity guy. Because I told you, in waking life, I think he's quite handsome. He's really good looking, he's tall, all that jazz. However, my cousin's boyfriend / husband is the short little guy that I would never ever look at like that, okay? He's just not my type. Let's just put it out there. So I would never be attracted to my cousin's boyfriend in any lifetime. So he had to morph into somebody that is attractive to me for that dream to catch any fire at all. So he kept shape-shifting, and I was having an affair with this guy, knowing that my cousin, at the time that we were still all hanging out, was just Joburg based. But in my dream, she left for a season. In my dream, she left to live in another country, almost like she was going there to study. I don't know if I'm seeing two lives here that are living out. My cousin was not. I believe the Lord was exposing the celebrity guy to me, lest the guy should try to slide into my DMs. I don't know what in the world I would do with that. So maybe this might give him goosebumps enough to walk away. This cousin of mine was, what do you call this? This cousin of mine was studying abroad or living abroad. Where abroad, I can't really say, but she was living there for a season. And during the time that she was living abroad, I had an affair with her man. I had an affair, and I was actively trying, literally, it wasn't a one-night stand. The affair, it was a whole relationship that they were having with each other, clandestinely, under wraps, with nobody knowing. But my cousin was the main chick, the maidie, that was well known. This girl, whoever I was having a whole relationship with my cousin's boyfriend. I was having a whole relationship with my cousin's boyfriend while my cousin was studying overseas for some months. And then we got to a point in us having this affair where we were actually talking, being together, and coming out to everybody that, guys, it's us now, we're together. And this was because this guy was frustrated with his girl being overseas all the time, and also because he was actually genuinely starting to fall in love, the cousin. And the two of them were starting to plot and scheme to say, let's just come out and say that we're having a relationship. And it is what it is. Whatever, happens. If people's hearts get broken, we'll deal with that mess later. However, this girl came back from overseas where it is that she was studying. My cousin, in other words, came back from overseas where it is that she was studying. And when she came back, me and this guy that I was having an affair with then had a conversation out of guilt, especially me, where I was like, but this is my cousin and it's gonna make me look really bad as the girl. And so maybe you should it's okay. We did what we did. Let's keep it secret. But go be with her. And this guy was then convinced to go and be with his girlfriend instead of the cousin. And this girl, whoever I was, made a decision that I'm going to keep it a secret. The affair we had, nobody needs to know. And this cousin came back from wherever it is that she was studying. And she had on her, my cousin has never been a skinny girl. But in my dream, she was kind of skinny. So it was like my cousin, but like the thin version. I don't know. So I think that was just showing me the characteristics of this woman. All right. Anyway, this girl. Anyway, whatever. And this cousin of mine, when she came back from overseas, she had bought everybody gifts. So she was a very sweet girl. A very sweet girl that would buy everybody presents and everything, type thing. She had bought everybody presents. However, she was depressed. Don't nobody understand why she was depressed. In my dream, she was extremely depressed. It's like something happened when she was living overseas that she couldn't tell anybody, and it had changed her and made her very depressed. Like I told you, my cousin was a Joburg girl. She'd never been anywhere, but in my dream, this one was living overseas. She was depressed, but she was sweet. And then I made a decision to keep quiet about it, and this girl threw a whole party for her welcome back party, and everybody was there, like family members and whatnot, and they knew the secret and they kept it between them, where it is that I had an affair with my cousin's boyfriend, and nobody knew. But there was always like an electric risk that, what is this, my cousin could find out that I was having an affair with a boyfriend, that one day she could find out and that my life would be destroyed as a result. And I was always scared about that. Now that dream was just multifaceted. Ultimately, they got back together, the two of them, and I was at a distance, however, scared of the risk that one day my secret will come out. My secret will come out type setup thing. Okay, now this dream was multifaceted. I do believe God is showing me two stories. And these two stories are as a result of witchcraft. Like people letting themselves get taken away by the tsunami of darkness until they regret every decision that they've made. This cousin of mine, let's first talk about her. She was apprehensive about marrying this guy. She was apprehensive about staying with him. She had been with him. Oh yeah, that's also another thing that is common. My cousin has been with this guy that is now today her husband since high school, and I believe that the celebrity guy also since high school, right? Then let that just kind of sit at the top of your mind. So let's first talk about my cousin. Already from high school, already from the time that she was still in high school, I was not 100% sure about this guy because of the way the relationship started. This guy was one of those typical reverse psychology shade passes. He liked my cousin. He knew that he liked her big time, but he used to pass her so much shade, making it look as if though he's not interested in her. And it took my cousin sort of kind of low-key groveling around and chasing him around and flirting with him for him to be like, finally, okay, I'll date you. The way that they started dating, it's almost as if though he was settling for her. And that never sat well with me. It never sat well with me because I was like, no guy settles for a girl. Men are usually very determined and decided. When it comes to a relationship, they don't just, the women are the ones that settle for men, not the other way around. So if a guy is sticking around, he's really in love. But this guy was unprepared to show my cousin that. And that, guys, is the bane of my existence. These men that act like they don't love you, but they do. And they don't want to have to work too hard, and so they pretend like you ain't Jack. Can't stand them. Not only was that an issue with this guy, but I also observed how he used to treat my cousin. He wasn't very loving. He wasn't romantic. He wasn't serving, but my cousin was full of settling. He never used to even call her babe, love, like, you know, all of these terms of affection. It was always just by her first name, and I was like, for me, how in the world are you content with that? And I don't know why it did not dawn on me to give my cousin advice that this does not make sense. My cousin was, and likely still is, a very beautiful girl. So she could have gotten anybody, and I believe somewhere along the way, not I believe, the Lord showed me, that somewhere along the way, it dawned on her that she wants more. And she wanted to leave this guy, and that's when this guy trapped her with witchcraft. That's when I started getting a whole bunch of dreams about him trapping her with witchcraft. But when I got these dreams, I was already suffering under the witchcraft of my cousin, her sister, and also her. And I was also suffering, this persecution that I'm in now the past 10 years. I was in it already. It was within this season when it dawned on her that she wants more, and she wanted to get out. She wanted to be with somebody else. She wanted to free herself, be single, that she might one day ultimately be her husband. She essentially got to the point where I got with my ex-boyfriend, where I was like, this is not enough. And these guys, it's when we get there that they then are like, yo, we are hamba. They first take advantage of us, and when they realize that we are sort of kind of slipping out the way, instead of fixing their act and straightening up and flying right, they fix us with witchcraft. They hold us hostage with sorcery, and this guy did that with my cousin, and I got all the dreams. I saw it all, but remember, we were already estranged. We were already separated from each other. I was already persecuted by them. She herself had already put witchcraft on me and my career. She had allowed herself to fall under the guile of her sister, who inducted her into the occult. So I could not be in a position to counsel her. When I started talking earlier, I said, this thing of you rushing down the world to acquire what you want with witchcraft, yeah, let's sing it, because later on it ruins things for you, because later on you wish you'd never done it. This cousin of mine, if she had been sweet to me the way that she always was, if she had been kind to me, I would have warned her, I would have told her, I got a dream about your boyfriend. She also would have confided in me about her desires, about the fact that she wants to leave. Like my best friend did that, where she told me, I want to leave this guy. And then next thing she's busy falling pregnant with him. They just at the time when my best friend wanted to leave her man, witchcraft, she gave him a baby. And the same thing happened with my cousin. Just when she wanted to get out, witchcraft, and then she had a baby. Witchcraft, and then she had a baby. It just happens like clockwork like that. I guess that would have happened to me as well. But thank God, I got saved. I got born again. I also got like a whole myriad of nasty dreams where I was trapped by a baby in my stomach that was growing at the speed of lightning. That belonged to my ex-boyfriend, and I didn't want my ex and the baby, but it was in my belly and it was about to be born, and there was nothing I could do about it. He tried to do that to me, my ex, but I fled. I got out through Christ. My cousin didn't escape, however, neither did my best friend. And now today they're both witches. So my friend did actually confide in me, but she fell under the witchcraft anyway because she was compromised. My cousin was still too young. I'm older than her. Do you understand? Was still too young to be at a point where she's thinking marriage, and also, and what is this? Because remember, I was 26, right, when I got born again. So my cousin was like 22. So she was nowhere near thinking about marriage. But when she finally got to like 28, 26, that's when she was like, I want more. I want more. And then the same thing happened. But by then, I was in my 30s and suffering like no man's business. So if she had confided in me, I would have told her. I would have given her counsel the way that I gave my friend counsel, but she ignored me. And on top of that, maybe I might have, I don't know, my dreams, I used to ignore them back when I was still employed and happy. So I don't know if I would have told her the dream that I got about her, but I never got a dream about my friend and her random boyfriend. But I certainly did get a barrage of dreams from the Lord concerning that guy's witchcraft activity on my cousin. And afterwards, she fell pregnant by his baby, right? That's what's good. This guy, in my dream, I was having an affair with him. The level of betrayal is at that level. So I believe what that dream was showing me was what happened to my cousin. And also what is happening with the celebrity guy, and I have no idea why under heaven he's even looking at me. But perhaps the Lord is preparing me to basically ward him off, warn him away, to like just walk away, step away from my ministry, my 2, 3, 5 subscribers, like proper, just walk away. Walk away or keep listening, but don't try and holler at me, and stop with your witchcraft at an innocent woman, because God has shown me the roots of even why you want to run away, the woman that you are with today, and think that you're going to land with me. Since I am a no-brainer, nobody knows me, and you're the kind of guy that likes women that don't nobody know, even though you're a celebrity. I don't even want to be seen that way. I don't want to be in the arms of a man like that. I'm already suffering. That's what's good. Plus, on top of that, you're in the kingdom of darkness, and you have got thoughts in your mind already where you're saying, goodness gracious, I had to go and meet this woman at a time when I'm so severely compromised spiritually. My point exactly. So get the step in. That's what's good. But so that's the story of my cousin. So God was showing me what eventually happened with my cousin and this guy. And therefore, what eventually happens with these women that don't give their lives over to God, idolize men, let yourself get compromised. Later on, what eventually happens. So people's character and personalities have changed quite significantly ever since they got involved in darkness, and ever since I lost everything. So I don't really know what is the extremity of what my cousins could do anymore. But there was once upon a time when I imagined that there are certain things that they would never do. Now, I don't know. Maybe I'm naive, or I was naive, but I don't think that there's ever been any of my family members that have slept with any of my family members' husbands or boyfriends. Again, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being naive. The Lord has told me that one of my friends has slept with my ex-boyfriend, right? He told me that after the act, and I didn't get mad because it was over and it was like good riddance. I'm glad I dumped him, and I'm glad that I got out of that before I got HIV. But apparently my ex-boyfriend slept with one of my friends. I have my suspicions as to which one, but I can't just run with them. And the reason why I suspect these two girls is because of the fact that the one girl, I can't really say that they used to flirt with him, but I have busted both of them looking at me and my ex-boyfriend in a way that was kind of like sad, almost looking as if they're like, but why are you with her and not me? I busted two of my friends looking at me and my boyfriend that way, especially my boyfriend, and I was like, this is weird, but I'm gonna move past it. Didn't think they would ever take it to that level. So the Lord has shown me that I have had a friend that has slept with my ex-boyfriend. He knows who she is, and she knows who she is, and I'm grateful that such things, that I didn't marry him, Because that's the kind of stuff that comes out at braais when everybody's drunk. That's the kind of stuff that comes out when friends have an altercation and their fight is so heavy that she then eventually is like, I slept with your husband on top of that. And next thing, you're married to the guy and there's nothing you can do. You can get a divorce. You can, I don't know, like when you find out 15 years down the line that your friend slept with your husband when you were still dating, what do you do with that information? I've had a friend that I slept with one of my not one of my boyfriends, the one that I was with, the last one, the Lord made it clear to me that he slept with one of my girls. Which one, I don't know. And I don't care. But not a family member. That would just strike another chord, hit some other nerve. Like, so the eventuality in my dream is not something that I believe is the story of my cousin. But at the same time, my family members have become so evil. They have become so evil. I don't understand their present character. I'm not really sure how under heaven they can act now. In my dream, this guy, my cousin's husband or boyfriend, slept with a close cousin. My cousin and I were close. I was close sister with her sister, but the two of us were also close. And yet, easily, she slept. I slept in my dream with her husband. Well, boyfriend. At the time, it was a boyfriend. And I knew that I was a cousin to her, not, what do you call this? Not a friend. I wasn't a friend to her. In my dream, it was my cousin. So either what God was showing me with that dream was that my cousin's husband, my cousin's current husband, the guy that she settled for, betrayed her that badly, even before they got married. That he slept with someone. I can't even fathom who. I cannot fathom. I literally cannot at the top of my mind scratch it sufficiently enough to find who in my family would ever sleep with my cousin's boyfriend. It would have to be somebody that was not close enough to us, but close to her. So she wasn't close to me or the sister or even my sister. And I don't know. Like, I literally cannot do the math. And you know what? I'm not gonna speculate further. It doesn't matter. But that's the level of betrayal. And what I'm trying to explain to you guys now is that my cousin, if she had chosen Jesus and if she had not persecuted me, would have dodged that bullet, because that guy had already betrayed her that badly, even before they got to a point of marriage. Because in my dream, they were not a husband pair. They were not a husband and wife pair. They were just a boyfriend and girlfriend. So we're speaking years ago. Everybody was still really young. Years ago. Everybody was still young. So this here, I'm hoping, would cause some kind of goosebumps to happen in people that are busy striking me with sorcery. Because God, He's taking out your secrets. Like, you are busy dabbling with witchcraft, keeping women by force, acting like you don't love them, cheating on them with their family members that are happy to have affairs with you. At some point, this guy wanted to leave my cousin for my cousin. Like, he wanted to leave my cousin for the other girl. So if that other woman that he cheated with was my cousin's cousin, it was likely also my cousin. So yeah, and it would have been a taboo, but they made a decision that he's gonna stay with my cousin. That was the dream. That was the one facet of it. But now the side of it that is the celebrity guy. Either God was showing me that both stories are exactly similar, or that the reason why he kept on interchanging them or morphing them is because certain facts of the story belong to only one guy and not the other. Maybe therefore meaning that this guy never cheated on my cousin with a cousin. I don't know. I would like to believe that did not happen. However, what is definitely true is that my cousin was tricked into something nasty, and now today she can't stomach the prospect of me getting my life, because she is with a man that she wanted to leave, but then she got trapped to stick around with him through a baby and then ultimately a marriage. She's stuck in it. And now she's looking at me on some, she's gonna get all the happiness she wants. Now she wants to turn me 50 when that's her story. I dodged a bullet. You could have dodged a bullet. And instead of repenting, and instead of realizing that the Lord has loved you enough to give you prophecy to help you understand just what you got into, you're still trying to finish me off. Like, why is prophecy not helping you? Then when it comes to the celebrity dude, I believe the celebrity dude is a similar thing. He's a very typical handsome alpha male, so I can see how it is that when you bring a guy like that home, some of your cousins might be ogling at him. The celebrity guy, I believe his portion of the story is such that he actually did have a girlfriend that did study overseas, because my cousin never studied overseas. She was always around all up in these Johannesburg dusty streets. The girlfriend studied overseas, and when she came back, she was depressed because something happened overseas, and I don't know what it was. The depression was stark and clear in the dream. I'm telling these details because he would be able to know exactly what I'm talking about, given that his girlfriend came back from overseas and she was no longer the same woman she was, because only depressed. Something happened to her overseas that changed her, and she wasn't sad. Nonetheless, they got back together. They were never broken up, but he was planning on breaking her heart, okay? And he did not stay his hand from breaking her heart because she was depressed. He stayed his hand because his mistress or his side piece, who was a family member of his girlfriend, decided that, no, let's not do this. So otherwise he would have hurt her, type thing. She stayed in South Africa. The cousin was in South Africa. The guy was also still in South Africa. And he had an affair, a whole thriving relationship, however, clandestinely under wraps. Nobody knew. A close cousin of that secret is, I would imagine, still kind of kept in a bunch. And the fact that the girl was always scared that the secret would come out. One day it would come out. Yeah, I believe that this guy wants to escape rabbit jumping out of that hat by just getting out of that family altogether. Like, I believe that this guy may have indeed determined to marry his girlfriend, but he's scared that, like I said, when such scandals, they tend to come out at a family gathering. They tend to come out at a braai when everybody's drunk. They tend to come out when people are having an altercation and a brawl, and then somebody's like, oh, how Evelyn, I slept with your husband when we were 16. And he is thinking, what if this thing comes out? What if I go and I marry my girlfriend and then this chick exposes and next thing I'm a divorced man? So he goes and peruses YouTube, does all different kinds of things, finds some strange Christian woman crying a lot on the internet, develops a crush on her. This is like a whole celebrity in the country. And then it's like, oh my goodness, I could marry her. Ingathi mina ngiyakotisa on the internet. I am so tired. And he's like, if I can escape, what in the world under heaven it is that nake qadileng with the cousin of my girl, I will never have to deal with the potential of this thing just blowing its top off but he's filthy, he's grimy, he's involved in the occult, and he's staring at a Christian woman, trying to see if he can't slide into the DMs, I guess knowing just how handsome he is. And he, as a man with that kind of rap sheet, lost in the world, able to sleep with a cousin of a cousin, that's what's good. Thoroughly thinks that maybe he can come into my life. Of course, I might be at this point having delusions of grandeur. I might not be dealing with an actual celebrity, but like I told you guys, I've seen too much of this guy for it to be a coincidence. It's too anomalous. I know my own dreams. It is a statistical improbability in my particular dream space to dream about somebody so frequently if they have not physically in and of themselves been involved in darkness where I'm concerned. So this, I believe, God is making me speak about it, that I might warn to not even try with me. Repent, really, and do a better thing. Let South Africa find out, since you're a celebrity, that you gave your life to Christ, just like that other one, Olwako Generations. Yeah, let South Africa find out that now today you serve the Lord and you have walked away from darkness. Come clean with your nasty little secret clandestine affair to both the women in question, and if your girlfriend wants to stay with you, then go on right ahead and marry her. If she wants to leave, then at least you'll avoid divorce. That's what's good. That's all the advice I can give you. But as for looking at a Christian woman to try and clean yourself of filth of the past, you are exactly like that American man who America spat out, and now he's trying to flee to South Africa and muddy and toil and litter our uncomfortable, uneasy gender-based violence streets with an additional gender-based violence, so he can run away from the fact that he messed up 2 marriages and is now today so sorrowful in a country that frankly thinks he is a menace, that he now wants to come and live in South Africa. Do not run away from your old life to come and build a new one with a woman that has been abandoned by the world on the internet. A woman that's been abandoned, that you found on the internet by the world around her. Do not think that do not think of me as the thing that you can use to run away from your rubbish lives. You made your bed, now lie in it. As for this dude in the entertainment industry, the Lord showed me you're facing HIV. If you don't stop your random dalliances, and your depressed girlfriend is going to become even more depressed because of what under heaven is that you did. You know that she's a little bit of a volatile soul that could commit suicide any minute now. So even leaving her is a hard thing for you to do. But the girl deserves the truth, and the rubbish that you did back in the day, even if you were just teenagers, it needs to come out. And that kind of stuff has no business coming in my life. And the Lord has given me all of these details so that all the, what do you call this? The how itchy you are at the edge of your seat to actually try and contact me so that you will get cured from that itch. Get cured from it, get an antidote for that itch, and stay in your life and fix everything that's fallen apart in your life. And again, leave the occult. Stop inhaling impepo, stop consulting amasangoma, stop doing all this random rubbish. If staying in the entertainment industry is impossible, If you're not a witch, then find another career, start a new thing. You're a famous guy or hot, so start a YouTube channel and make money that way and pay for your bond that way. Okay, that's the best way. That's the best advice I can give you to escape the darkness that the entertainment industry will insist you stay in. If you can't handle acting because you prefer a quiet life under wraps, under the radar, then I mean, congratulations. Not many people are happy with that status quo. Then I don't know, go and get your normal life, but leave me out of it. Like proper, leave me out of it. Go and heal the wounds of your devastated girlfriend that came back depressed from overseas. Ask her why she was so depressed, why she changed. I don't know what happened. Maybe she got abused, violated. Somebody needs to get to the bottom of that matter before that girl jumps off a cliff. But you did not help at all. That poor unfortunate woman, Magabuya, where it is that she came back from. Now that we have put that out there, I just want to say, my cousin that is trying to plan for me to turn 50 in squalor and poverty, you're looking at my life when you should be looking at this man that's also going to bring you HIV from what the Lord told me. If you don't nip this thing in the bud right now, he is a cheat, a flagrant rando. I don't believe he slept with any of the cousins in the family. I think that is the story of the celebrity. However, if it is his story, then goodness gracious, girl, you need to find out who. Because not me. Like, at this point, I just feel like they need to be with Chansalo clap, or I could say like something like diwashing. Let me not condone violence. I'm just a cousin's boyfriend. Aska tumpa kipani. Aska tsohanje fela was saying va. I don't know who in the world would do that, but like I said, maybe this is not a story in the family, but if it is, the moral of this whole entire dream is threefold. That guy, the celebrity guy, is trying to Korobela dreams. Korobela dreams always involve sex. They will involve sexual activity in them. So the sex component in the dream where I was having sex, Mina personally, in the dream, that was a demonic attack. Let's just put that out there in the first place. That dream could have been shown me in many other facets, but God saw it fit to, while the Korobela was happening, also show me so you're not tempted by him when he slides into your DMs. This is what he's involved in. This is the mess he's involved in. So the sex component was evidence of Korobela. Korobela is a South African word for witchcraft that is a love spell. Bring here a juju spell to make a woman love you type thing. I need to go and take a shower now, it's getting late. Okay, so first and foremost, Korobela. So somebody's slapping me with Korobela, and I am 100% certain that it is not my cousin's / husband today. That bugger is definitely not trying to slap me with Korobela, but the Lord is showing me that their stories are similar, because the girlfriend, the wife, my cousin, is actively currently doing a spell to discourage me from Christianity and telling herself that she's going to keep on pushing this thing until I turn 50 because she's depressed. My cousin is actually depressed because of darkness, has joined the occult just like her sister, but from the get-go she was apprehensive, and now today it has borne such bad fruit. I've had so many dreams of her trying to come back into my life but wondering how she's even going to do it. She wishes she had listened to me but hasn't, and now the prospect of me being happy in the future grates her. It is a great ill. That's where they get to, these people in the occult. They act like children until one day they snap out of something, and by then they've lost people. And so she's busy casting a spell. So that's why God showed me her husband's activity. Her husband would never be interested in me that way. None of us were each other's type. However, somebody in that dream wanted me enough for the dream to be heavily sexual. And that is Korobela. And I believe it is the celebrity guy in South Africa. I'm not going to say who it is because frankly it's not necessary. And my message to that celebrity guy is lost my 8. However, never mind the message, right? I'm trying to help you understand that God is showing me, giving me information to ward off the Korobela guy from ever trying again, helping me understand that HIV is a risk in this whole entire union. This whole entire mess. This guy from South Africa is risking giving HIV to this already very depressed girlfriend. The husband of my cousin is facing giving HIV to his wife if he doesn't stop his nonsense. My cousin is busy with her sorcery, and the Lord has shown me that if she does not stop random rubbish, she will not ever find protection concerning a man or busy guy and a lady. The two of them have to deal with it with each other because really too they're involved in darkness, so they might as well both of them just turn to Christ. This guy from South Africa, options have been given him. If he does not take the options, he will contract the virus and give it to a woman that is already depressed and on the edge. The judgment on witches in totality is some kind of devastating outcome, eventuality, or death. A warning sent out in their general grill as well. Leave me out of it. Otherwise, little limala. Because I have a prophetic gifting I see. And if you get to a point where you're so desperate that you think you can hide your sorcery, God will also then bring out other dirty laundry to make you see that I am untouchable. I am absolutely untouchable. So, celebrity in South Africa, lady, and I don't want to be given grief ending. Lost May 8. Yeah, proper. Fix your life. Whatever's going on there, ilugis before uku. As for my cousin, lost May 8, like you guys as a family, all of y'all, made a decision to abandon me, and now you are casting spells to get me to the age of 50 with nothing. You first cast a spell to get me to 35 when I was 33, then one to get me to my late 30s, and then another one now to get me to 50, so that you can get away with this murder, while you are married to a man that betrayed you violently, and that did not even show you love all throughout your relationship, even though you were together since you were children. Even this guy from South Africa, yet another detail, I do believe that the Lord used also this couple to show me what exactly you're doing, because of the fact that in Tobi Yetzang, you, what do you call this? You are doing it to somebody that you've been with ever since you were like your high school sweethearts. These are the kinds of details that God gives me when people insist with witchcraft. That is grace. And if you don't listen upon being given all this grace, then you will face the consequences of what you're trying to start. Last night, I couldn't exercise. I was just hovering above sea level because of the deluge of attack that is on me. The sexual abuse is astronomical. Men, understand, korobela. When you slap a woman with korobela, she will always be assaulted sexually in a dream. It does not present itself in any other way. The devil cannot manufacture love. He can only work with perversions of love. So he will use lust. So whenever you send korobela to a woman, don't expect that the devil is going to make a dream about her having strong feelings for you and suddenly want you. The devil is going to make her get sexually aroused concerning you. That is all that you get. And lust is not, it does not stand. It cannot bear all. It does not trust all. It does not endure all things, trust all things. Only love does that. Go read 1 Corinthians 13. So ultimately lust fades, but love lingers, meaning that you lose the korobela prospects alone. Women that you have slept in your korobela, they slip through your fingers. Because the moment they happen upon something, all of a sudden they get turned off. And when you get turned off, you don't want to have sex. That's what happened with this guy in the US. He lured me in with lust, korobela, with love spells. That, where I was bombarded by lust dreams, sex dreams. I accommodated him for all of 5 seconds until he turned me off by doing something, by disrespecting me, by speaking badly to me, by being rude. And that was enough for me to be like, I'm not interested in this anymore. Lust has no staying power. Love does. That's why he can't come back in, because all he has is lust. So men, stop bewitching women. They bring back lost lover, because the devil will just bombard them with sex dreams. And sex is not sustainable to keep a relationship going. Love is. So I know about the Mosadi, pursue. At the door. And actually pursue. If you want to be in a woman's life, mushele, buy flowers, romance her, prove to her that you can love her indefinitely into the future, run into the sunset and do a better thing by her. Do not lambaste her with visions of sex, because all she will want to do is have sex with you. But there is nothing that can turn off the steam even of sexual arousal in a woman than a rude man. A man into reverse psychology, basically things that are her pet peeves. They will come to the top of her mind when you're doing something strange, and it'll be enough. And when then you cannot control her korobela, you will keep on fetching the same spells over and over and over again until she considers you a violent stalker that must just leave her alone. Just like the way that I look at this guy in America. And azanga khona ever again after I busted him, not only for korobela but also just a rudeness. He turned me off, and so sex was off the table. When all you have to work with is sex, it's on shaky water, it's on stilts. It's literally not sustainable. But you know, all I can do is just give advice, because at this point, if you don't want to listen, I do you. Yeah, but as for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. We're not leaving the Lord unprotected. And as for all of y'all making like American youth, as for all of y'all making like the Gen Zs in America, getting millions from ransacking everybody in your youth, and now you're snapping out. You're snapping out of your insanity, and now you want your best friend back. Now you want your cousin back. Now you want your mama to cook in the house. Now you wish you hadn't emancipated your parents. Now you wish you hadn't sacrificed your mom. Now you wish you still had your mom at your graduation, since she was your first human sacrifice. Now you wish your cousin was still there to give you advice. Now you wish you were still here sleeping on Karabo's, shoulder, because we still tight like that. But she's gone, and she will never let you come back. She's gone, and she will never let you come back. You are irresponsible like American Gen Zs right now, who are making too much money from YouTube content creation and passing their friends shade. That's what's good. You are regretful, but you are speeding down the aisle, not trying to pray to God for all of that which you acquired. And now you want meaning and substance in your life like African youth, and it is nowhere to be found. All I can say to you is repent, give your life to Jesus Christ, so he can give you some kind of idea, wisdom, how to gain some kind of a semblance, of a normal life. Turn to the Lord that He might give you wisdom as to how you regain your life after losing it for the sake of the kingdom of darkness. When we lose our lives for Christ, we gain them. But when you hang on to your life of wickedness, you lose it. Now that you've lost impilo yako, you've lost your friends, your family members, and some people don't even want to talk to you. They want nothing to do with you. Christ is the only one that can give you wisdom as to how to be content in life without some people, because some people will never be brought back to you. Understand that. There's no getting them back. Like Jacob with his limp. He fought the angel of God all night and ended up with a limp in his step. That's what's good. So you will have Jacob's limp, but at least you will have contentment and a blessing in the future because you finally gave your lives over to Jesus Christ. If you don't want to give your life to Christ, angazi, you're facing a future of disease, a punishment, and some of you even death. Don't say I did not warn you. I'm signing out in Christ's name, Kwen K. Los me e jela me jo korobela.